Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our briefing. The colossal scale of devastation across various parts of the country brought about by the unprecedented climate catastrophe has affected more than 33 million people in Pakistan. Continuing loss of lives and livelihoods and massive damage to property and infrastructure are indicative of this evolving humanitarian situation that we are faced with. After Sindh and Balochistan, you have seen the destruction caused in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, AJK and Gilgit-Baltistan in recent days. Over 1,100 people, including over 350 children, have lost their lives. More than 1,600 people have been injured. Over 1 million houses have been partially or fully damaged or destroyed. Entire villages have been wiped out. Over 735,000 livestock have perished and over 2 million acres of crops have been lost, besides severe damage to communications infrastructure. The government of Pakistan has mounted a coordinated rescue and relief operation, mobilizing all possible resources and capacities. This is a national effort in which everyone is contributing, from individual Pakistanis from all spheres of life to businesses, civil society and humanitarian organizations, besides the civil and military administrations. Overseas Pakistanis are also contributing to this effort in a big way. The sheer scale of the calamity has, however, stretched our capacities to the limit, thus necessitating support from the international community. And we have already seen an outpouring of such support and solidarity, with a large number of our friends and partners stepping forward with assistance to buttress the government-led relief efforts. To further raise global awareness and to mobilize support, on 30th August, Pakistan, together with the UN, launched the Flash Appeal 2022 Pakistan Floods Response Plan, simultaneously from Islamabad and Geneva. Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari addressed the launch event, followed by a video message from the UN Secretary General and statements from the Planning Minister, the UN Resident Coordinator, the UN High Commissioner for Refugees and IFRC. Chairman NDMA also briefed the participants on the situation in the aftermath of the floods. The response plan focuses on the needs of the most affected people, with life-saving response activities amounting to $160.3 million, covering food security, assistance for agriculture and livestock, shelter and non-food items, nutrition programs, primary health services, protection, water and sanitation, women's health and education support, as well as shelter for the displaced people. The Flash Appeal launch was well attended by member states both in Islamabad and Geneva, heads of UN agencies in Pakistan, representatives of international organizations, among others. Participants offered condolences and expressions of solidarity and assured continued support for Pakistan. Here, 2 points merit highlighting. First, what we are passing through is a climate-induced calamity. These are no ordinary monsoons, as the UN Secretary General termed them, monsoons on steroid. There are totally anomalous cycles of torrential monsoon coupled with other extreme weather events, including record temperatures and forest fires in Pakistan. As one of the lowest contributors to the global carbon footprint, yet amongst the most vulnerable, Pakistan has borne the brunt of climate shocks in recent years. As the Foreign Minister said, Pakistan has become the ground zero of the consequences of global warming. The international community, particularly those historically responsible for climate change, must step up and share the burden of these losses in the spirit of solidarity. Second, While we are in the relief phase right now, there will be this important transition to the reconstruction and rehabilitation phase, which, given the mega scale of this disaster, will require continued, sustained, and substantial support of the international community. All our efforts will be focused towards that objective. As you would have followed yesterday, Foreign Minister Bilawal, accompanied by diplomats and representatives of international organizations, visited a number of flood-hit areas. The Prime Minister has also been visiting the affected areas personally, overseeing relief efforts. We have closely engaged the diplomatic corps here in Islamabad and are mobilizing efforts through proactive outreach through our missions abroad. During the previous week, leaders from across the world expressed their sympathies for the people affected by the floods and showed solidarity and support for Pakistan in this hour of need. The presidents of Turkey, Iran, and the UAE, as well as the president of the EU Council, called the Prime Minister. The Foreign Minister also received telephone calls from the Turkish Foreign Minister and the Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs of the French Republic. Let me also inform you that the UN Secretary General will be visiting Pakistan on 9th and 10th of September. This will be an important visit. The Secretary General will be here to express solidarity and to showcase the international community's support for Pakistan at this difficult time. Here I would like to highlight, till last night we have received flood relief goods through 21 flights, notably from Turkey, UAE, and China. There are trains also flying from Turkey. These air and road bridges are expected to continue in the coming days and weeks. A large number of countries and international organizations have pledged support and are extending cash or in-kind assistance. And these include Australia, Azerbaijan, Canada, China, EU, France, Iran, Japan, Kazakhstan, Kuwait, New Zealand, Norway, Palestine, Qatar, ROK, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, Turkey, UAE, United Kingdom, United States, Uzbekistan, and this is not an exhaustive list, along with various international organizations including World Bank, Asian Development Bank, and other UN agencies. We are grateful for this timely and much needed support. Ladies and gentlemen, in complete cognizance of the need to invest in a sustainable future to avoid falling prey to climate change induced natural calamities and mindful of Pakistan's extreme vulnerability to climate change, Pakistan remains committed to a sustainable green agenda. In accordance with these objectives, Pakistan has signed yesterday in Copenhagen the Green Framework Agreement engagement with Denmark. The Green Framework engagement will mark the first step in creating stronger collaboration in areas such as climate change mitigation and adaptation and a just and sustainable green transition. A joint action plan will be finalized between the two countries containing specific activities of collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, we remain deeply concerned on the grave human rights and humanitarian situation in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, where the Indian occupation forces have martyred another 6 Kashmiri youth, including a 23-year-old engineering student in fake encounters in Baramulla and Shopian areas. Today marks the first martyrdom anniversary of the iconic Kashmiri Hurriyat leader Sayyid Ali Gilani. He was a personification of sheer courage and grit and the face of the Kashmiri people's valiant struggle to achieve their right to self-determination as enshrined in numerous UN Security Council resolutions. Called Babai Hurriyat by his compatriots, he breathed his last in a long-drawn illegal Indian custody on 1st September 2021. The Indian Chargé d'Affaires in Islamabad was called to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs today, and a strong démarche was made over India's continued apathy towards the iconic Hurriyat leader's right to a burial in accordance with his will and the wishes of his family. Pakistan's deep regret was conveyed over Government of India's persisting intransigence that has denied Sayyid Ali Gilani's mortal remains a dignified burial in the cemetery of martyrs as per his desire. More ominously, Kashmiris are not even allowed to pay respects to the revered leader at the graveyard in Haidarpura, Srinagar, where he was hurriedly buried, as you remember, last year by the Indian occupation forces in the absence of his family members and followers. We believe no amount of Indian brutality, apathy, and incredible absence of morality can dampen either the spirit of resistance of the Kashmiris in IIOJK or the fond memory of its people for their visionary leaders of the like of Sayyid Ali Gilani. May his legacy continue to inspire those carrying his mission forward to bring an end to the illegal Indian occupation of Jammu and Kashmir. Thank you.